It's time for me to answer some of your burning questions about the behind-the-scenes life of a flight attendant.
We asked our viewers to send in their questions for another installment of Cabin Crew Confessions. All right, Bobby, you ready? Let's jump right in. At Mint should be asked, how do you respond when passengers inform you they are first-time flyers? Asking for me because I'm a 40-year-old scared lady about to board her first flight in 4 days. Well, first of all, good for you. But yeah, what do you say to people who say that?
That there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people think that there's a lot to worry about. A lot of people think that turbulence is going to be a problem, but it never is. But you always just ask, you know, if for any reason you get nervous or you have a question, just reach out and ask.
Yeah, like you're in good hands.
Yeah, you're in good hands. I mean, everyone on that plane knows exactly what they're doing. They've been trained, and they've trained year after year after year after year.
You're in good hands. Okay, from at Ismail802622, I'm flying tomorrow with Finnair. So stressed, bad weather on road 2. Do flight attendants have detailed routes and weather turbulence information from the pilots? And are you ever nervous before a flight, or is it really just another day at the office?
It's another day at the office.
Really?
But the pilots do, of course, have that information because they always try to route themselves around the bad weather as much as possible. But before every flight, there should be a crew briefing where the pilots talk to the flight attendants about the weather that they might encounter, where it might be bumpy. And they always say, too, if it's going to be unsafe, then their pilot's going to make the flight attendants sit down.
Yeah.
And then everyone's secured. But, I mean, no one's going to put themselves, you're not going to fly through harm's way or through danger just because. Of course, they know what's coming.
I've got a question. Are pilots relaying, like, hey, guys, I just flew over the Rockies and today is especially bad for, like, the planes behind them?
And while you're flying, if it's bumpy for no reason or they just clear air turbulence, they'll talk to the air traffic control. Maybe they'll get a different altitude to try to smooth it out. So they're always having that conversation.
They're always looking out for you. Okay, well, at For the Love of Tarot asks, hi, one of my worst fears is choking or not being able to breathe while on a plane. Have you ever experienced a medical emergency on board, and how was it handled? If so, thank you in advance.
Tia. Many medical emergencies on the plane.
Really?
It's always, I mean, again, flight attendants are trained for that. So like, and you know, when you're new, you always worry about the first time you're going to encounter it. And then maybe by like your third one, you're like, oh, here we go. It's old hat again.
What was like one of the weirdest or worst ones that ever happened?
Well, we had this guy come out of the bathroom and like literally hit the floor. He fainted in the back galley, and then we asked someone if we asked over the PA if there was medical personnel on board, and they came to the back, and his blood pressure dropped to a dangerously low level, to the point that we had the AED out, thinking we might need to use it, but we didn't. We did land. Everything was fine. He was okay. But you know, you do train for that stuff, and then the flight attendants all work together to make sure that the situation gets resolved.
But you guys do a good job training. Okay, from at Own Relationship, I wanted to ask if you've ever felt unsafe when other passengers scream on a flight due to turbulence. I've always wondered if the pilots or flight attendants are not scared at all and confused why people are screaming, or if you are nervous too.
Confused when they're screaming. I mean, I've only once encountered turbulence that like really rocked everything, but like. Cups and cans went flying everywhere. In fact, it was kind of funny to me. Everyone else was holding on and screaming, and we were in the back laughing. Mostly because like the cans flew out of the cart and they hit the floor, and because everything's pressurized, the cans started spinning, spraying soda all over everyone in the back. Yeah, it was a sticky, wet situation.
Oh my God, where were you flying? Do you remember?
I don't even remember.
That's crazy.
But like we were warning people forever, like stay in your seats, it's coming. And then of course there was a line for the bathroom. No one listened. Then you hit like the 5 really big bumps and everything goes everywhere.
Oh, that makes me nervous just thinking about it.
Why?
Because I told you I had that one time when we dropped.
Yeah.
And since then, I just can remember just hair and food flying. And ever since then, I've just been, I get nervous. You've seen me. I don't like it, and I always feel better when you're on the plane.
Turbulence for me, I am asleep. It rocks me to sleep right away.
Really?
Right away. I sleep the best on planes when it's bumpy.
Well, again, I just like flying with you. Okay, at Chickadee95 asks, why are some planes so much noisier than others? I feel silly saying this, but the noises get to me. This is true.
Are you Chickadee95?
AKA Nikki.
Planes are just made differently. I mean, and the engines are different on all these planes too. So, I mean, that plays a role into all of it. I mean, like on some, I think usually Boeing planes, you'll actually hear like the flaps coming down. Whereas on Airbus planes, you don't usually hear that.
Really?
It's just all the mechanics of how it's built.
Interesting. Okay.
You know, and Boeing we've heard about.
Yeah. Last one, at Dropped Out of Fun, how many times do you fly per month?
Ooh. On average, I'd say like 4 or 5 times a month.
That's a lot.
Yeah, maybe. Don't tell me no. But on a month, it depends. How many trips are we taking?
True, it changes all the time.
Yeah. How many times do you fly a month?
I try as much as possible.
I can't wait to go anywhere.
I can't wait to go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the more you fly, the more comfortable you get with it. I mean,
It's
even though
true.
you had that experience,
Yeah.
it hasn't stopped you from getting on a plane.
Absolutely not. In fact, I keep saying, when are we going?
Yeah, I know.
When are we going?
Now.
Bobby, I always love hearing people's questions and especially your behind